Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight at Putnam City North. If you're just now jumping on the live stream or joining us on the radio, we've been under a lightning delay. It lasted an hour and a half. The lightning has cleared out. Both teams are starting to come back out on the field to get warmed up again. Planning on kicking off tonight around 8:50. So thank you for your patience as we're dealing with this Oklahoma weather. Try to move the game up to Thursday night to avoid this, but as good old Mother Nature would have it, a nice little storm came through earlier, and so it has been delayed, but the game will go on. We'll get kicked off around 8:50. We'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and our radio listeners for tuning in on KYAL AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. My name's Tanner Gregory, and I'll be bringing you tonight's game. And we'll start like we always do, recap Sapulpa's win over Ponca City last week as they moved to 4-0 in district play with a big win that was led by the defense getting the shutout. They had a couple of big red zone stops that forced Ponca City to kick field goals. They missed both those field goals and just had a dominant performance defensively last week. And the offense got going as Braddock Broughton's coming off his best game of the season. It was 9 for 13, 202 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Seems like he's getting into a good rhythm as the season goes on, as he missed a few games, 4 games early this year due to an injury. So great win. With that win last week, Sapulpa locks up a playoff spot for the 5th year in a row, which has never been done before in Sapulpa history. Head coach Tim Holt is the first Sapulpa coach to lead the Chieftains to the playoffs 5 consecutive years. So some good things going on around the program. And I know they're not done yet. That was just one of the goals for this team coming into the season. There's still a lot of big goals left ahead as they progress through the regular season and get into the playoffs. Putnam City North comes into this game coming off of kind of a shocking loss to Bartlesville. They lost last week 42-28. They're 2-2 in district play, 2-5 overall. Kind of a shocking loss as Bartlesville found a way to get their first win last week. They're desperately fighting to get into the playoffs. They'll need to get to that 4-win mark to have a chance. So they'll be playing hard tonight, fighting to get that 3rd win in district play. They're led by head coach Brian Lockhart, who was on the staff for the last 6 years here. And after their head coach left from last year and went to UConn, he has taken over the head coaching role. So let's talk a little bit about last week's game as we get into the specifics. It was a great team win from all 3 phases, even special teams. Bryce Curran got the blacked punt, which gave Sapulpa safety as it rolled out of the back of the end zone. Some other key players, Jace McIntosh, the senior linebacker for Sapulpa, is having a great season, leads almost all 6A2 linebacker statistics in all categories as far as most tackles, interceptions, tackles for loss, and sacks. I mean, he's just putting together a great year and had another big game last week. He was the Tulsa World Player of the Week with 14 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, and a pass breakup. So just a great playmaker all over the field. And Braddock Broughton, as I spoke on him a little bit earlier, just getting into a great rhythm. One of his most efficient games of the season, which is good to see as we're getting into week 7. Now the team is really starting to come together and put all the pieces in the right place. And the 2 receivers that were a big part of Braddock's night was Bryce Curran, who connected with Braddock's on a 72-yard touchdown reception. Bryce has a lot of speed, wasn't even on the football team last year. He's a basketball player that they got to come out and play. And, man, he's put together a really nice year. He's just a junior, 5'7", 155 pounds, but he's got extremely explosive speed. And when he gets out in space, he's hard to catch. And another guy that's in a similar situation as Bryce Curran was Landon Barber, the sophomore receiver who also was just on the basketball team last year. And they got him to come out to play football this year, and this is his first year, and he's having a great year as well. Those 2 guys are actually tied for leading receiver yards. Both have 231 on the year, which some of those numbers are a little bit skewed with Braddock's being out of the lineup for the 4 out of the first 5 weeks of the season. They've started to get the passing game going over the last 2 weeks, but those guys have been crucial to this team's success this year through the air. And also Jackson Stone, who I expect we'll see tonight, was a little banged up the last 2 weeks. Hopefully he's at full strength tonight and can contribute, because we know he's more than capable of that. And we'll get another look at some overall stats from this team. This defense has been really, really impressive. They're only allowing conversion rates from their opponents on third down at 36% of the time. They forced 9 turnovers. They're only allowing 197 yards per game, keeping their opponents under 200 yards. It's just been a dominant performance on the defensive side of the ball. And there's a list of guys that I can name that have had just tremendous success playing for Braxton Waters in his second year as the defensive coordinator here at Sapulpa. These guys are always lined up in the right spot. They play disciplined football and just putting together a really nice year defensively. And moving to the offensive side of the ball, Levi Jensen been the number one go-to back this year. He's got 654 yards on the ground, 9 touchdowns. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry, 6.7 yards a carry to be exact. Just putting together a really, really nice season as he's going to try to push for that 1,000-yard mark in the regular season. Deshaun Koch, he's been the number 2 go-to back, especially in short yardage situations, and he's averaging 8.2 yards a carry and having himself a nice year. And along with Michael Bennett, that third running back that we've seen come in at times, is averaging over 8.5 yards a carry as well. So this Chieftain offense and defense is really starting to come together at the right time, and it's really exciting to watch as they have progressed on into this season. So we'll step aside for a short break. We're about 13 minutes away here from kickoff here at Putnam City North. Again, if you're just now joining us, we had a lightning delay that pushed this game back, so kickoff will be pushed back to 8:50. So we'll step aside for a short break and be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV, and our radio listeners for tuning in on 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. And we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff as both teams are out on the field warming up tonight. And we're going to get into tonight's preview. The Chieftains, like I said earlier, are looking to move to 5-0 in district play. And Putnam City is looking for that third win as they're 2-2 in district play. So a little bit about the Putnam City offense and what you're going to see from them. They've got a lot of speedy athletes out on the perimeter, and the quarterback, who's a senior, probably one of the most talented kids on the team, Mason Jones. He's a dual-threat quarterback that can hurt you with his legs and, as well as his arm. But I'd say their best player on the offense that has the chance to produce some really explosive plays is the running back, Terry Wilson Jr., can absolutely fly if he gets any space. So the Chieftains will have to do a good job of keeping him in wraps and not letting him get out in the open. And as far as the defense goes for Putnam City North, we're going to see a lot of man-to-man coverage tonight, and they'll play close to the line of scrimmage. I think the middle of the field is going to be open all night long, which leads me into what I think you will expect to see from the Chieftain offense tonight. I really think the whole playbook is going to be open. You know, Levi Jensen has the ability to break off some big runs, and if they stay in that man-to-man coverage with no safety over the middle of the field, if this offensive line is able to get to the second level, I think that's going to create some big plays for Levi. But also in the passing game, with them going man-to-man a lot, I like our chances with our athletes that we have, Jackson Stone, Bryce Curran, Landon Barber. Those guys can absolutely fly, and if they get any space tonight, I think Braddock's going to have another big night here at Putnam City North. So we're about 8.5 minutes away from kickoff, and as the captains are about to take the field, a little bit of a unique situation playing 3 Thursday night games in a row. Putnam City West was moved up to a Thursday 3 weeks ago. Then fall break, we're at home against Ponca City, and then this game was moved up to try to avoid the weather, but wasn't able to completely avoid all of it. So, you know, this fight for playoff seeding that the Chieftains are fighting for, you know, with a win tonight, that locks up the 3rd seed as they've already got the 4th seed locked up, which would be a home playoff game for them. But if they can get through, get 2 more wins on the season, they'll end up with a first-round bye. And Sand Springs and Muskogee, 2 of the top teams in 6A2, Group 2 are battling it out tonight. As I checked last time, the score was tied at halftime, 21-21. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out, as that will be those 2 teams will be Sapulpa's last 2 opponents, starting with Muskogee. Hopefully, a Friday night game at home next week. The U.S. Army pregame show with Kevin Ward will be there next week starting at 5 o'clock, as that's a big game for both teams, but especially Sapulpa. That could be a huge, huge win if they're able to get the win next week, a program-defining win, really, for the Chieftains. But it starts tonight. They got to get through Putnam City North first, and I think we're going to be clear from the weather the rest of the night. There is another chance of some showers at 11 o'clock, but hopefully we can get through this game with no interruptions. And I do want to point out that it is good to see Jackson Stone back out on the field warming up tonight. He's been battling an injury the last few games. He was limited last week in the amount of snaps he got, but hopefully tonight he's full go. Another explosive receiver, 4.5 speed guy that can get out on the edges of the defense and make some big plays. And we'll get into tonight's key players. And for Sapulpa, I think Braddock's is poised to have another big night tonight. He's really starting to get into a rhythm. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities with the way Putnam City North plays defensively for Braddock's to push the ball downfield. He's got a great deep ball, great pocket awareness to step up in the pocket and avoid pressure. I think he's poised for another big night tonight. And on the defensive side of the ball, Jace McIntosh, the senior linebacker, the leader of the defense, just putting together a really, really nice season. I think he's going to have another big game tonight. There will be plenty of opportunities as they go, as Putnam City North goes to a spread formation quite a bit of time. They'll get in trips and spread formation, even quads at times. So that middle linebacker spot, it's going to be key that he's in the right spot, and he'll have a chance to get a lot of tackles tonight as he's done all season long. And then back to the offensive side of the ball, Landon Barber, really impressed with what we've seen from him so far. He's a guy that has attacked the middle of the field and made big catches all season long across the middle of the field for this defense, which is kind of rare. I mean, sometimes guys in their first year playing football, that middle of the field area, usually after you catch the ball, you're about to take a big hit, and he's made some impressive catches even after taking hits there in the middle of the field. So I think he'll have a good opportunity tonight to get behind the safeties, as they're going to be lined up about 8 yards off of the slot receivers, but in man-to-man coverage. And I think that's going to open up some huge opportunities across the middle of the field for Landon Barber tonight. And we're about 4.5 minutes away from kickoff. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us on Chieftain TV tonight, and the radio listeners for tuning in on KYAL AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. I'd also like to thank the Waypoint Lounge tonight back in Sapulpa for streaming the game, keeping the fans up to date with what's going on with this football program, as it's really impressive. I mean, there's only been, I believe, 4 or 5 times in the history of Sapulpa dating back to 1912 when Sapulpa football was first played that any team has had an 8-win season. The Chieftains tonight, with a win tonight, will move to 6-2 and have a chance to do something that hasn't been done in Sapulpa for a really, really long time. And both teams are huddling up as we're 3.5 minutes away from kickoff now. So we'll step aside for another short break and be right back. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football. Welcome back. We're about a minute away from kickoff here, as the coin toss was done underneath the bleachers during the lightning delay, so I don't know who won it, but it looks like Sapulpa will be kicking off first, kicking off to Putnam City, so they will get the ball to start this second half. Jack Madden will be the man to kick it off tonight to Putnam City North. As far as I know, Jack Madden has had a great season. He's a 3-sport athlete, and he's been huge for this football team when it comes to special teams. So here we go. Putnam City North's taking the field, and Sapulpa sends the kickoff team to both sides of the field as Jack Madden is ready to kick this one away. The ball is on the 40-yard line. Jack Madden steps up to kick it. It's going to be a pooch kick to the middle of the field. Going to be caught on the 27-yard line. He takes it to the middle of the field. He's got a little bit of an opening, but he's going to be tackled around the 42-yard line. So they'll have good field position to start. Looks like number 5, Charlie Bowie, was the returner there. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line, as both teams trot out onto the field for this first possession. Mason Jones, the quarterback, Terry Wilson Jr., the running back. They come out in a trips right look. And the snap's away. It's going to be play action, bubble screen out to the right. And he's caught. It's caught, but he's going to be tackled for a loss. It'll be a 1-yard loss. Tackled by Michael Bennett. the junior linebacker. So that'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the Panthers as they come out in a quads left look. Same guys in the formation. Mason takes snap. Play action again. Bubble screen to the other side. It's going to be incomplete. The receiver slipped as the field is wet from all the rain we got earlier. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long here for Putnam City North as Cade Buxton checks into the game for Rylan Watson. The Panthers earn a trips left look. Ball on the 42-yard line. 3rd and 10. Right hash. Mason Jones checking the play at the line. Looks like Sapulpa's going to bring some pressure. They don't. They bail out. Mason takes a shot down the field, and it's going to be overthrown. Good coverage there by Messiah Fielder, the junior DB. So that'll bring up 4th and 10, but we do have a penalty flag on the play. It looks like this might be against Sapulpa. We'll see what they decide. And it's going to go against Putnam City North, an eligible man downfield. So Putnam City will come out to kick the ball away. Carter Mosquito, the returner for the Chieftains. Ball on the 42-yard line. He'll be kicking from left to right. The snap's away. It's a high snap, but he corrals it. It's going to be a high kick in the air. That's about a 7-yard punt. So the Chieftains will have great field position on the 48-yard line, as we get to see the offense come out for their first possession. So a good 3 and out for the Chieftain defense to get the game started. So Sapulpa will take over on the 48-yard line. Levi Jensen and Braddock Broughton in the backfield. They come out in spread formation. Stone, Curran, Barber, and I can't see who the other receiver is out wide. Braddock takes snap, drops back to pass, steps up to avoid the rush, but he's going to be sacked. And that'll be a 10-yard loss for the Chieftains, bringing up 2nd and 20. Man, it looks like he had a man open, but just not enough time to get the ball out to him. So that'll bring up 2nd and 20 for the Chieftains. And they come out with 2 tight ends and Levi in the backfield, 2 receivers out to the left. Braddock takes snap. It's a high snap. He corrals it, hands it off to Levi, who runs up the middle, and he gets about 6 yards. So that'll bring up 3rd and looks like they're to say he got 4 yards. So that'll bring up 3rd and 17 for the Chieftains. Ball on the 42-yard line. That snap was high. Braddock did a good job of going up and retrieving it. And they'll come out in spread formation. Putnam City North is showing that man coverage. We'll see if they add a blitz to it. Braddock takes snap, drops back. They rush 4. He steps up and throws a deep shot down the middle of the field. And it's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Bryce Curran. So that'll bring up 4th and 17 for the Chieftains. Sequoia Hall will punt this ball away to the speedy back, Terry Wilson Jr. Ball on the 42-yard line as Sequoia lines up to punt this one away. And we got an offsides. We'll see. It is going to be offsides on Putnam City, so that'll move the ball forward 5 yards to the 47. And we'll try again here. So that makes it 4th and 12. So not much better for the Chieftains, but Logan Mason, the long snapper for the Chieftains. And it snaps away. It's a good snap. Sequoia Hall kicks it off. It's a spiraling punt that's going to be, it bounces off of his foot and goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So a great punt there from Sequoia Hall, pinning the Panthers inside their own 15-yard line. And we've got 9 minutes and 52 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. 0-0 as the Chieftain defense will come back out on the field. They got a 3-and-out their first possession. They'll look to build off of that again here on this drive as they've got the Panthers backed up deep in their own territory. So Mason Jones and Terry Wilson Jr. in the backfield as they come out and trips right, ball on the left hash. And they go hard count. The Chieftains don't jump. They're looking to the sideline for the new play. Wilson will slide over to the left side of the quarterback. Takes snap. It's a handoff. They run counter. Tries to bounce it outside. He's met by Jace McIntosh. Looks like that's going to be a 2-yard gain. They'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. And they'll come out in a 2-back set now, with the H-back Isaiah Southern in the game. And he rolls out to the right. He fires it out into the flats to the fullback, and he's blown up by Michael Bennett. That's a good hard hit there, but it will be a 3-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Panthers. Ball on the 20-yard line inside their own territory. They're making substitutions. They'll go back to spread formation with 10 personnel. Keep an eye out for Camden George or Deshaun Koch. Great pass rushers here. And the Chieftains rush 4, and he takes another shot down the sideline. And it's going to be broken up by Messiah Fielder. The intended target was Marshall Bennett, the receiver. And he had an opportunity to make a play on the ball, but it was broken up, and he was unable to recover and find the ball. So the Panthers will be punting away from their own 20-yard line, 4th and 4. Another good 3-and-out there from the Chieftain defense. Fourth and 4. Carter Mosquito back to return. As the Panthers rush a guy out on the field late, they only had 10 on the field. And the snap's away. It's a high snap again. The Chieftains are coming after it, but they don't get to it. It's end-over-end kick. It's going to bounce across midfield, and Bryce Kern will fall on top, Mosquito will fall on top of it at the 44-yard line. 8 minutes, 38 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of this scoreless ball game. It's been a defensive battle through the first 3 possessions. We do have a flag on the play on the far sideline. It looks like they picked the flag up, so no flag on the play. The Chieftains come out in a split backfield look with Logan Mason in at H-back, 2 receivers out wide. Braddock takes the snap, looks to hand it off to Levi, who runs up the middle, nowhere to go. He's going to be tackled for a 1-yard loss, so that'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the Chieftains. Chieftains are struggling to get going early. Bring up 2nd and 11. Ball will be on the 43-yard line. The Chieftains are looking to get this offense going. They did get one offensive lineman who's been injured back this week. Jarrett Hammer, it's good to have him back. They come out in spread formation. Braddock takes a snap, looks right, throws it quick. It's going to be in and out of the hands of the intended target, Jackson Stone. They'll bring up 3rd and 11. It was a quick out route to the sideline, just unable to connect with the receiver. And the Chieftains will keep the same formation, same personnel in the game. They'll go trips left. And it's going to be a false start on the Chieftains. Right tackle got a little anxious there and jumped. So that'll back him up. It'll be 3rd and 16. Ball will be on the 38-yard line in Chieftain territory. And they'll reload. Trips left again. Levi in at tailback. Braddock takes the snap, drops back, looks left, steps up in the pocket, and he's got 4 guys around him. He just gets the ball away to avoid the sack. That's going to bring up another 4th and long for the Chieftains. as this offensive line is struggling with the pass rush from the Putnam City North Panthers. So Sequoia Hall will come back out on the field to kick the ball off. Wilson is the return man for the Panthers. Logan Mason, the long snapper. Looks like the Panthers may be coming after this punt. It's a good snap, and he gets the ball off. It's a line drive punt that bounces across the 30-yard line. Wilson picks it up at the 22, and he's going to be thrown out of bounds at the 25. Sequoia Hall did a great job getting the punt away. We got a flag in the backfield. We'll see if they ended up running into the punter. I was looking downfield and did not see if they ran into Sequoia or not. So we're waiting to get the call from the official here. 7 minutes, 48 seconds left to go here in the first in the scoreless ball game. It's going to be a personal foul running into the kicker against the Panthers, so that should be an automatic first down for the Chieftains. The referees are moving the ball up. That'll get the ball across midfield. The Chieftain offense will come back out to the field. Caught a lucky break there as the Panthers came after that punt and got the personal foul of running into the punter. So the Chieftain offense will take over across midfield for the first time tonight. Ball will be on the 48-yard line with a new set of downs. And again, we'd like to thank you for joining us on Chieftain TV tonight and staying patient with that lightning delay, and our radio listeners for tuning in on 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. Logan Mason into the game at tight end. Levi, the tailback. Looks like Jackson Stone's going to have man-to-man coverage at the top of the field. And Braddock takes the snap. It's going to be a reverse to Bryce Curran, and he's got the corner. Oh, my. Wow, he had one man to beat. And that would have been a touchdown, but the defensive end makes a great play getting off the block. And it's going to be a 3-yard loss. It looked like Bryce was about to go score. There was nobody left on that side of the field. But that's a good play there by the defensive end. So same formation for the Chieftains, the two-back look. Braddock takes snap, hands it off to Levi, who runs it up the middle. It's a good, hard run. That's good for 5 yards. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Chieftains. Third and 7. They come out in the same formation, 2 receivers to the bottom of the field. Logan Mason and Levi in the backfield, and they go hard count. And the Panthers do not jump. They look to the sideline for the play. Jackson Stone, the lone receiver, towards the boundary. Braddock takes the snap. He hands it back off to Levi, runs up the middle, breaks a few tackles, and he's going to get a first down. That's a good 7-yard run to move the chains. That'll be a Chieftain first down and 10. We're waiting for the spot here. Looks like he got just enough right down to the 38-yard line inside of Panther territory. The Chieftains make a substitution. Cade Buxton in the game at tailback. As they'll go spread formation. 2 receivers to both sides of the line of scrimmage. Braddock takes a snap. He drops back, looks right. Double move, and he's got a man. And I'm surprised that's not pass interference. Jackson Stone ran a wheel route and was held up by the DB, basically pushed out of bounds by the DB, which slowed him up. They were unable to connect. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Chieftains. Cade Buxton in the game at tailback. The 2 tight ends, Rylan Watson and Logan Mason, will check in. 2 receivers out wide. Braddock takes the snap. Hands it off to Cade. It's an outside zone play. And it looks like this is going to be holding as he got 2 yards. But this will more than likely be coming back. It'll be 2nd and 20 if they accept the penalty. Five minutes and 53 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game as the Chieftains are trying to march down the field And it will be holding, and they will accept it, so that'll back them up. It'll be second and 18 for the Chieftains. Excuse me, second and 20 for the Chieftains. And they'll come out in the same spread formation. Levi will check back into the game at tailback. Braddock takes the snap. He drops back and looks left. Fires across the middle of the field and it's almost picked off. He overthrew the intended target, Dawson Goodland. And it was almost picked off. So that'll bring up 3rd and 20 for the Chieftains. Chieftains are struggling to get things going here offensively. This will be their 3rd possession. It'll be 3rd and 20 for the Chieftains. They come out and trips left. Levi in the backfield. Braddock takes the snap. And it's going to be a screen to Dawson Goodland, who catches out in the flat, and he's got blockers ahead of him, breaks the tackle. He's across 35. He's going to be down close to the line to gain. That'll be an 18-yard gain. They'll mark him down at the 31-yard line, and I imagine the Chieftains are going to go for it here. So it'll be 4th and 3. So it's good for a 17-yard gain. It'll be 4th and 3 here for the Chieftains. Ball on the 31-yard line inside of Panther territory. Levi into the game at tailback. Logan Mason checks in at tight end. Braddock takes a snap. It's a high snap. And he rolls out right. And he's got a man open. And he takes a deep shot to the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. So he had Logan Mason in the flats, which would have been good for a first down. Elects not to throw it to him. Takes a deep shot. It goes incomplete. And that's a turnover on downs for the Chieftains. And the Panthers will take over on the 31-yard line. 4 minutes, 57 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. And the Chieftain defense has been good through their first 2 possessions. They've only given up 5 yards and forced 2 3-and-outs. The Panthers have not been able to get a first down yet. So they come out and trips left. Mason Jones, the quarterback, alongside Terry Wilson Jr. And he takes the snap, fakes the handoff, fires a slant. It's going to be broken up by Jace McIntosh. Great play there by Jace as he was coming in on a blitz. Jumped up in the air as they tried to hit the quick slant behind him and broke that pass up. So add another stat to the column there for Jace McIntosh, having a great year as his senior season. So they come out in same formation. And they go hard count. It's 2nd and 10. They look to the sideline for the play. Brody Chalake into the game at defensive end, the freshman. He takes a snap, and they can run counter. And he's blown up by Jace McIntosh. Again, so that's only good for a 1-yard gain as Jace McIntosh fit the counter really well there. Well, he was one of my key players to tonight's game, and he's already had about 5 tackles, a pass breakup, and just making a huge impact tonight as I figured this game would be a good game for him to play as a middle linebacker the way their Panther offense calls plays. So it's 3rd and 10, and he rolls out left as he gets the snap, and he just has to throw this one out of bounds as guess who was coming in on a blitz and blew the running back up. Jace McIntosh with another great play. So that'll bring up 4th and 9 for the Panthers, as that'll be another 3-and-out. Punt team comes out again. Carter Mosquito back to return this punt. It's like the punter, David Brown, will be out to punt this ball away. It looks like the Chieftains may come after this one. The last 2 snaps have been high. And I believe we got a false start against the Panthers, so this will back them up another 5 yards. Put the ball on the 27-yard line inside of Panther territory. So a lot of defense here through the first 3 possessions for both offenses, and not a lot of yards. And they'll reset. It'll be 4th and 13 for the Panthers. And I believe we got another false start. And it is a false start, so this will back them up another 5 yards and put the ball on the 23-yard line. That'll make it 4th and 18 4 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. So we'll try this again. Brown, the punter, awaiting the snap. And the snap's away. It's a low snap into the ground. And he picks it up, barely gets it off. And it bounces across the 40. And it's going to go across midfield. This will roll down, takes a Panther bounce inside the 45. It'll be spotted just inside the 45-yard line in Chieftain territory. So 4 minutes and 9 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of this scoreless ball game. Chieftain offense has struggled to get anything going as they'll take the field again for their fourth possession of the night. And they'll come out with the two tight end set to the boundary. Levi in the backfield. Braddock takes the snap, hands it off to Levi, runs up the middle of the offensive line. That's good for a 5-yard gain. So that'll be 2nd and 5. That might be the first positive play we've seen for the Chieftains on first down. You have to wonder if the slow start with the rain delay or the lightning delay has got these offenses a little stagnant to start this game. So that'll put the ball at the 50. Same formation, just flip sides. He takes snap, same play, up the middle, and he falls hard for a good, hard-fought 2.5 yards. So it'll bring up 3rd and 2. Looks like maybe 3rd and 3 for the Chieftains. Ball on the right hash. Levi will check out of the game. Michael Bennett into the game for Levi. Logan Mason, Rylan Watson, Landon Barber, and Bryce Curran into the game as well. It takes a snap. He drops back to pass. He fires it out quick. It's tipped. Outside linebacker got his hands up and tipped that ball as they try to go to Bryce Curran out in the flats. So that'll bring up 4th and 3 for the Chieftains. Ball is going to be on the 47-yard line. They'll go with the same formation. They just move the two receivers to the field side. And they go hard count. Panthers don't jump. Braddock takes the snap. He hands it off to Michael Bennett, who runs up the middle. He's got enough for the first down. He's fighting for extra yards as they're pushing the pile. And that's good for about a 9-yard gain as the Chieftains will pick up the first down. Desperately needed to get that one. And Levi will come back into the game for Michael Bennett. That puts the ball at the 38-yard line inside of Panther territory. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. 0-0. Ball's on the right hash. They come out in the same formation. Levi into the game at tailback. Braddock takes the snap. He hands it off to Levi. He's got a little bit of a hole up the middle. And it's good for a 3-yard gain. It's a good tackle there by the safety. Shooting the outside linebacker to keep that from being a big gain. That was the only man left to stop Levi. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Chieftains. Ball on the 35-yard line. And Michael Bennett into the game at tailback. Braddock takes the snap. It's going to be the outside stretch play to the left. Michael Bennett hits the hole, and it looks like he's got the first down. He's fighting for extra yards. The offensive line is dragging him, and they get an extra 4 yards. It's a great job by the offensive line getting down the field and helping their running back out. So that'll get the ball down to the 22-yard line inside of Panther territory. The Chieftains are starting to find something on the ground. As Watson and Mason will sub out of the game. Jackson Stone, Bryce Curran, and Landon Barber. Dawson Goodland in at receiver. It'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 22-yard line. And they'll come out in spread formation. Panthers showing a man-to-man look here. Braddock takes the snap. And he's got a man open across the middle of the field. It's Jackson Stone, and that's a touchdown. Touchdown for the Chieftains. That's a 22-yard pass from from Braddock's Broughton to Jackson Stone to give the Chieftains an early 6-0 lead. We do have a penalty. Looks like they're going to get Jackson Stone for a celebration there in the end zone. Imagine that'll be enforced on the kickoff. And it will be. So that'll still give the Chieftains a 6-0 lead here as Jack Madden comes out to kick the extra point. Carter Mosquito, the holder. Levi Jensen, the snapper. The snap's away. It's a low snap on the ground, but he picks it up, and it's kicked right through the middle. So that'll give the Chieftains a 7-0 lead with 1:17 left to go here in the first. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football. All right, welcome back. The Chieftains took a 7-0 lead here with 1:17 left to go here in the first quarter on a 22-yard touchdown pass from Broughton to Stone right over the middle of the field. The penalty was enforced on the kickoff, so Sapulpa will be kicking off from the 25-yard line. Jack Madden out to kick this ball away. That was a 38-yard drive for the Chieftains for a touchdown. And Jack Madden steps up to kick it away. It's a pooch kick. End over end. It's going to be fair caught. It's fumbled. He picks it up, and they're going to blow this play dead. So it was fair caught around the 45-yard line, but they muffed the reception. And the Panthers will take over on the 45. So this will be their fourth possession of the game. This Chieftain defense has forced 3 3-and-outs as they've started off the game solid. And we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and our radio listeners for tuning in on AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. Mason in a quarterback, takes the snap, looks to hand it off, and Terry's got the edge, and he's a fast, speedy back. And that's going to be a big gain as he crosses midfield down to the 30-yard line inside Chieftain territory for the first time tonight. That's a 25-yard gain. Carter Mosquito did a good job of keeping that from being 6 points. And they'll come out in a two-back look. Ball on the 30, 1st and 10 for the Panthers inside of Chieftain territory. And they go hard count. The Chieftains do a good job of not jumping. So that's the speed we've seen from Terry all year long. He was able to get out on the edge of this Chieftain defense. And he's a hard man to catch up to after he does that. So they reload the play, takes a snap. It's a handoff up the middle to Terry. And he runs hard, and that's good for about an 11-yard gain as he gets inside the red zone for the first time. Ball will be placed at the 19-yard line as they're starting to find some success in this run game. They come out in the same formation, two-back look. Hand it off again, same plays. He bounces it outside, runs up the middle, and he's going to be tackled by Jace McIntosh for a 3-yard gain. And Terry does a good job of getting up to the line of scrimmage, making a few quick cuts, and bouncing it outside. He tried to do that again there. But that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter as the Chieftains have a 7-0 lead over the Putnam City North Panthers. And we'll step aside. Welcome back. We're at the start of the second quarter. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle, nowhere to go, met by a host of Chieftains. And that'll be good for no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Panthers. So they're inside the red zone for the first time tonight. Ball's going to be at the 16-yard line. This will bring up a 3rd and 7 as the Chieftains lead 7-0. They come out in a two-back set, 2 receivers out to the left, 1 alone to the right. And he takes the snap, looks to hand it off again, but he's going to be tackled for a loss. Cade Buxton in on the tackle. And that backs him up to 4th and 10. Great tackle there from Cade Buxton. As Wilson was trying to get to the outside again. So it'll be 4th and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. And they'll make a few substitutions. They'll go back to spread formation. The receivers are stacked on both sides of the field. Wilson in the game at tailback, and he'll motion out to the flats. Mason drops back, looks left, fires it across the middle of the field, and it's caught for a touchdown. Wow, what a play there. That was almost picked off by Carter Mosquito. He was going for the ball, but missed it. And that's just a really good throw and catch there from Mason Jones to, can't see these numbers very well for Putnam City. Not sure who that intended target was, but that's good for a 20-yard touchdown pass as they'll come out to kick the extra point. Brown will be the kicker as they look to tie it up here in the second quarter. The snap's away. It's a good snap. Kicks away, and it's good. So it'll be 7-7 here at Putnam City North as the Panthers tied up with 10 minutes and 52 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. We'll step aside. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football. Welcome back. The Panthers have come back out on the field to kick the ball away. That was a 56-yard drive that was capped off by a 20-yard touchdown pass from Mason Jones. Almost picked off, but threaded the needle there in between the safety and the corner for a touchdown. So the Panthers come out to kick it off. And they do. It's a line drive kick. Looks like this is going out of bounds. And it does. That'll go out of bounds around the 16-yard line. So the Chieftains will have good field position as they take the field for the 5th time tonight. The last drive was a 38-yard touchdown drive that was capped off with a 22-yard touchdown pass from Braddock Sprutton to Jackson Stone. And we've got a tied ball game here in the second quarter. 10 minutes and 52 seconds left to go. We'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and our radio listeners for listening in on KYAL AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. The Chieftains are looking to move to 5-0 in district play, and Putnam City North is desperate for a win as they're 2-2 in district play, fighting to make the playoffs. So the Chieftains will come out in the 2 tight end look with Mason and Watson. Cade Buxton will be the tailback, 2 receivers out left. Braddock takes the snap. It's going to be a run up the middle. Cade Buxton fights hard for about 3 yards. We've got some extra activities going on as the Panthers thought the ball was fumbled. I believe he was ruled down before it came out. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Chieftains. Ball is going to be on the 37 or 38-yard line. And the Chieftains will make some substitutions. So they'll go back to 10 personnel with Levi into the game at tailback. And they'll go trips left. It's 2nd and 7. Braddock takes the snap. He drops back. He looks left. Looks down the field. And he's got Bryce Curran open if he can find it. And he's caught. And this is going to be a touchdown for Bryce Curran as he's inside the 5. Touchdown, Chieftains. Huge throw and catch there from Braddock, but an unbelievable catch from Bryce Curran as he lost the ball up in the air, was able to retrace his steps and find it. That is a very tough catch to make. So that's good for a 62-yard touchdown pass, and that gives the Chieftains a 13-7 lead. And we do have a flag on the field. We'll see who they decide to call this on. This came out way late, so I don't believe it's going to take the touchdown off the board. We got a dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct against the Chieftains. So that'll be enforced on the kickoff as Jack Madden trots out to kick the extra point as the Chieftains are looking to take a 14-7 lead here in the second quarter. Coach Tim Holtz getting the explanation there on the penalty. I'm not sure what happened. It was way away from the play, and I didn't see it. So they'll get lined up. Carter Mosquito, the holder. Levi Jensen, the snapper. And Jack Madden will look to make this a 7-point ball game. And the snap's away. It's good snap. Kick's good. And that'll be 14-7 lead for the Chieftains with 9 minutes and 59 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. That drive was a 65-yard drive with 3 plays resulting in a touchdown pass off the huge 62-yard touchdown reception by Bryce Curran. We'll step aside as you're listening to Chieftain football on 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. So many breaks. The 15-yard penalty was enforced on the kickoff, so they'll kick off from the 25. That'll be the second time in a row they've done that tonight. 15-yard penalties after both touchdowns. They have a 14-7 lead over the Putnam City North Panthers with 9 minutes and 59 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. That was a quick 2-play, 65-yard drive with an unbelievable catch from Bryce Curran and a great throw from Braddock. So Jack Madden steps up, kicks it away. It's a line drive kick that is fumbled at the 30-yard line, and they still can't get on top of it. The Chieftains have an opportunity here, and the Panthers do fall on the ball at the 19-yard line as that ball was bouncing all over the field and fumbled twice, but they are able to get on top of it. So the Panthers scored on their last drive. It was a 56-yard drive, capped off by a 20-yard touchdown pass. The Chieftain defense has played good all night and honestly had an opportunity to pick that pass off. It was just a really good throw and catch. So here we go. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line as they come out in the 2-back look. Wilson is the tailback. Mason sends a man in motion from left to right. Fumbles a snap, picks it up, looking for some space, but nowhere to go. And that's going to be about a half-yard gain. So it'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. He fumbled the snap. He was trying to do a jet sweep. Just had to pick the ball up and try to get something out of it. So they'll come out in a quads left to the boundary. 2nd and 9. They go hard count. And the Chieftains jump. So they're going to get a free 5 yards here. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Panthers. Second 4 for the Panthers. Ball will be placed at the 26-yard line. 9 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. And they'll go trips right with Wilson as the tailback, as he'll get the majority of the carries tonight. They take the snap. He looks right, and he looks left, and he takes a shot down the field, and it's almost intercepted by Messiah Fielder. Great coverage there for Messiah Fielder. And they'll bring up 3rd and 4 as the fans are not happy about that. The junior DB, 6 foot, 165, is having a great year as well. Really been a lockdown corner for the Chieftains. So that'll bring up 3rd and 4. They come out in spread formation. Ball on the 26-yard line. Camden, Georgia, Sean Koch, Rylan Watson. The tailback's in. The ball's fumbled. And he falls on top of it, so he fumbled the snap again. Quarterback Mason Jones falls on top of it. That's a 5-yard loss, bringing up 4th and 9 from their own 21-yard line, and the punt team will take the field. This defensive line has been good all season long, and they're really good on 3rd downs at getting a good pass rush. Almost recovered a fumble there. It'll be 4th and 9 for the Panthers. Carter Mosquito, the returner. Brown, the punter. The snap's away. It's a high snap. The Chieftains are coming after it. They don't get there. It's going to be a short punt that bounces again across midfield and stops around the 42-yard line. So it took a Panther bounce of about 15 yards, and the Chieftains will take over from their own 42. 8 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. The Chieftains lead 14-7. And we'd like to thank you for joining us on Chieftain TV and our radio listeners for tuning in on AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. My name's Tanner Gregory, and we're getting this game started late tonight as it didn't kick off till 8:50 due to a lightning delay, as they're trying to avoid the weather that we have tonight and tomorrow night all across the state. A lot of games got moved up to tonight. They'll come out in the two-back look. Braddock takes the snap, hands it off to Levi, who bounces out to the left and gets about 3 yards. And they'll give him 4. So that'll be 2nd and 6. Second and 6, ball's going to be on the 46-yard line. And they'll have the same formation. Watson and Mason, the tight ends. Braddock takes snap. He looks left, steps up, fires it to a wide-open receiver, and he's crossed the 40. He's been pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. They'll actually say he went out at the 38. And that was Bryce Curran on the reception there. He ran a quick stop route and was left wide open. Good throw and catch there, as these two are starting to find a good rhythm. This is Bryce's first year playing football, as he was a basketball player before this season, but he's making a huge impact for the Chieftains this season. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Chieftains. Braddock takes the snap. Michael Bennett takes the handoff, and he cuts it up the middle, and that's a good, hard run. We'll see if they give him the first down, and they will. So that's an 11-yard gain for the Chieftains. As they're inside the 30-yard line, they'll place it at the 27. And it'll be a 1st and 10 again for the Chieftains. Chieftain offense starting to get into a rhythm here in the second quarter. They'll come out the same formation. Braddock takes a snap, but we got the plays blown dead. There's a penalty marker on the field. It's going to be offsides against the Panthers, so it'll be 1st and 5 for the Chieftains, as that'll move the ball up to the 23-yard line. 1st and 5. And they come out with a 2 tight end set, 2 receivers to the boundary. Barber and Bryce Curran. And the game receiver, Michael Bennett, the tailback. Braddock takes the snap. He looks left. He's got pressure. Steps up and avoids it. And he does just enough to get the ball away. They're going to say incomplete pass as he tried to step up, but this field is really wet. He kind of slipped. And he throws it away. So it'll be 2nd and 5. No harm, no foul there. Braddock has really good pocket awareness. He does a good job of step up in the pocket, and he's got a really strong arm. Really talented junior quarterback. And they'll come out in the two-back look with Michael Bennett as tailback, and Braddock takes the snap. He hands it off, runs it up the middle, fighting hard for extra yards, and that's going to be close to a first down. He's right at the line to gain. We'll see if they move the chains here as the clock's rolling inside of 6.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. And still waiting to see. They are going to move the chains, so that'll be a first down and 10 for the Chieftains. The ball is going to be inside the 20, inside the red zone again tonight. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 17-yard line as the Chieftains look to the sideline to get the play. And they're going to have to take a timeout. So 6 minutes and 2 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Chieftains take a timeout as they got a 14-7 lead. It's been a great game here tonight in the second quarter for the Chieftains. If they've started to get the offense rolling, started off a little slow as we didn't get kicked off until 8:50. That might have had something to do with the game. This game was scheduled to be kicked off at 7. I know sitting in the locker room for an extra hour and a half can drain you a little bit mentally as you get amped up to play the game, and then it gets canceled, or not canceled, but delayed right at kickoff. So it's taken them a little bit to get going, but they're starting to find some rhythm both on the ground and through the air. As this drive started out on the 42-yard line for the Chieftains, and now they're down inside the 20. And the Chieftains will come back out on the field. It'll be 1st and 10. As Michael Bennett into the game at tailback. The freshman tied in. I believe that's him in the game as well. Braddock takes the snap, hands it off to Michael Bennett, who runs up the left side, breaks the tackle, falls forward again for a 9-yard gain. And Michael Bennett is running hard, but there's going to be a penalty after the play, well after the play. And we'll see who they call it on. It looks like it might be on the Chieftains. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. And we're waiting the call here from the official. It's going to be a dead ball personal foul against the Panthers and a dead ball personal foul against the Chieftains. So the penalties will offset. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Chieftains inside the 10-yard line. Ball's going to be placed at the 9. 5 minutes, 49 seconds left to go here in the second. The Chieftains lead 14-7. Levi back into the game at tailback. Joined with Braddock's Broughton and 2 tight ends, Logan Mason and Rylan Watson, into the game. Braddock takes the snap. He hands it off to Levi out to the left, and he runs through a couple of tacklers and gets down to the 1-yard line. It's another good hard run from Levi. The Chieftains are starting to find some success on the ground between Michael Bennett and Levi Jensen. So the ball's placed at the 1.5-yard line. Chieftains look like they're going to go quarterback sneak, and they do. And Braddock is trying to fight for the end zone. It looks like he's in. That's going to be a touchdown, Chieftains, as they run the quarterback sneak. And Braddock's wasn't there initially, but he bounces out to the left side. And that gives the Chieftains a 20-7 lead here in the second quarter with 5 minutes left to go in the first half. And Jag Madden will come out to kick the extra point. The holder will be Carter Mosquito. Really good drive there for the Chieftains. They started to find something in the ground game. The snap's away. Good snap, good hold. And it's going to be good. So that'll give the Chieftains a 21-7 lead with 5 minutes remaining left to go here in the second quarter at Putnam City North. We'll step aside. You're listening to this Chieftain football. And we're back as the Chieftains just took a 21-7 lead here with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Jack Madden comes out to kick this ball away as the Chieftains almost recovered the last kickoff. That was a good 67-yard drive by the Chieftains that led to a touchdown. Then it's kicked off, caught around the 21-yard line. The speedy back catches it, but he's going to be tackled at the 36-yard line. So the Panthers will take over from the 36. That last drive for the Chieftains was capped off by a 2-yard run for Braddock Broughton. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night. This offense is starting to get into a rhythm. But the defense will come back out onto the field here for the 6th possession of the game. And the Panthers will come out in a 2-back look. Ball is going to be on the 36-yard line on the right hash. It's 1st and 10. Mason takes the snap, looks to hand it off, and he does. And it's going to be a tackle for a loss. Sequoia Hall in the backfield. That's a 4-yard loss. That'll bring up 2nd and 14 for the Panthers. Great play there by Sequoia Hall coming off the edge, getting a tackle for a loss. That'll put the ball at the 31-yard line. And they come out in spread formation. Send a man in motion from left to right. Motion to trips, takes a snap, fires it off to a screen pass. And he's going to be blown up by, didn't see who that was, but that's a great tackle for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 15. It's actually going to be a tackle for a loss. And that was Caden Smith, the corner, who comes up and laid a big hit there on the receivers. So they come out and trips right, 3rd and 15. They go hard count. The Chieftains don't jump. Deshaun Koch will be coming off the edge. He's a great pass rusher. Sequoia Hall coming from the other side. Keep an eye out for this defense to get a sack here. He takes a snap and he rolls right. He's looking for a man downfield. Nobody open. Takes a shot to the sideline. Overthrows the receiver. That'll be a 4th and 15. As the punt team will have to come back out onto the field. That's a great possession there for the Chieftain defense. That was a great play there by Caden Smith, the senior DB, on that second down play. The 6'1", 170-pound corner who's had another fantastic season. I can go through a long list of guys for the Chieftain defense that's playing well this year. And the punt team's out on the field. Brown, the punter, kicking to Carter Mosquito. Snaps away. It's a good snap. They get the punt off, but it's shanked off his foot. And it's a very short punt. Goes out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So the Chieftains will have great field position, as that was about a 12-yard punt, as the Chieftains lead 21-7 with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. And the Chieftains have scored on their last 3 possessions, as they got off to a slow start but started to find something there towards the end of the first quarter. The Chieftains will take over at the 43-yard line inside of Panther territory as they come out in the 2 tight end set with Levi in the backfield. Braddock takes the snap, looks to hand it off. Levi's got the corner. He cuts it back up the middle, breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle. He's across the 30. Looks like he's going to be brought down at the 27-yard line. That's a good 15-yard gain there for the Chieftains. Chieftains are really starting to get something going here in this run game. They had 40 yards on the ground that last possession. And that's a good 15-yard gain there for the Chieftains. So they come out in the same look. Braddock takes the snap. He hands it off. Levi makes a guy miss. He's across the 20. Down inside the 15. He's going to be tackled at the 14. And that's a 13-yard gain there for Levi. Levi's going to be really close to getting to 1,000 yards on the season. He's had 654 yards coming into this game. He busts off 2 long runs there on the opening plays of this possession for the Chieftains. 3 minutes left to go in the second. Chieftains lead 21-7. Ball on the 14. He takes a snap. High snap. has to just corral this, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield, so that's going to be a 6-yard loss. And Braddock did a really good job of going up and grabbing that ball. It's a really high snap. Just has to pick it up and eat it. So that'll be 2nd and 16 there for the Chieftains as the clock rolls inside of 2.5 minutes left to go in the second. Barber and Curran into the game at receiver. Mason and Watson at tight end. Braddock takes the snap. He looks left. Steps up. Avoids the rush. Fires it down the field. It's caught! Touchdown, Chieftains! What an unbelievable pass. Just a great pass right behind the defenders there for the Panthers. And there is a flag on the play, but it does not look like it's going to be on the Chieftains. Wow. Incredible pass there. That's good for a 20-yard touchdown pass. As he really threw it where only Bryce could get it above 3 Panther defenders and puts it in the perfect spot as Bryce was able to get 1 foot in the back of the end zone. As Jack Mountain will come out to kick this ball, kick this extra point. Snaps away. It's bobbled. And he still kicks it from the ground, and it's good. 28-7. Chieftains take a huge lead here in the second quarter with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. The snap was bobbled there on the extra point, and Jack just kicked it off the ground and it got it in. So it's one of those nights for the Chieftains. Everything's starting to get rolling. We'll step aside for a short break. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football. Welcome back. The Chieftains just took a 28-7 lead off of an incredible pass as Braddock's had 3 defenders in his face, steps up as he's being drugged to the ground, delivers a strike to Bryce Curran in the back of the end zone. That'll be on highlight reels all over the place this week. Jack Madden kicks the ball away. It's a line drive punt or kick that bounces inside the 10-yard line, still bouncing. Wilson picks it up, and he's going to be tackled around the 15-yard line. 2 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. The Chieftains have a 28-7 lead as this Chieftain offense has scored on their last 4 possessions, finding success through the air and success on the ground. And there's a flag on the play. This was after the play, so we'll see who it's on. We'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. Looks like it's a block in the back on the Panthers, so this will back them up inside the 10-yard line. Be half the distance to the goal, so this puts the ball on the 7-yard line. And that's where they'll take over. With 2 minutes left to go. This Chieftain defense has played solid all night, only giving up 1 touchdown. But pretty much every other drive, except for that 1 scoring drive where they found a little bit of success on the ground, has resulted in negative yards. They come out in a tight formation, send a man in motion, hands it off up the middle. He's going to be tackled for about a 2-yard gain. Jace McIntosh in on the stop. It'll be 2nd and 8. We'll see if the Chieftains elect to use timeouts here. And they do. So the Chieftains will take a timeout. 2 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. They're going to try to get this ball back and go score again, as this offense has been virtually unstoppable here in this second quarter, scoring on the last 4 possessions. And my, oh my, that last drive, like I said, it's hard to, if you saw it on Chieftain TV, you understand what I'm talking about, but if you're listening to it on the radio, I can't even put into words what kind of play that was there from Braddock's on that last touchdown pass. This Chieftain offensive line starting to play really well. They're starting 3 sophomores this year across the offensive line, and those guys have gotten a lot better as the seasons went on. Coach David Ritchie's done a good job of coaching those boys up. That's a tough position to play. and they're making it look easy tonight, getting a huge movement in the run game and starting to block really well, giving Braddock's time to make some plays, and you can see what he's capable of with time. So both teams will come back out on the field. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Panthers inside their own 15-yard line. Trips left formation. Mason takes the snap, looks to hand it off out to the right, and the plays, well, he breaks a few tackles, and it looks like he's going to be right at the line to gain. We'll see if they give him the first. So the Chieftains had an opportunity to get him in the backfield, but he's really shifty back, and he makes a few guys miss and it's going to be 3rd and short. No, they will move the chain, so it will be 1st and 10. He got just enough yards there. They come out in spread formation. Takes the snap, drops back, flushed out of the pocket, and he looks to scramble. Nowhere to go. He's going to be tackled by Rylan Watson. That's a 2-yard gain. Rylan Watson did a really good job of retracing his steps from his pass rush as Mason Jones left the pocket a little early. And it'll be 2nd and 9. Clock is at 1:10 left to go here in the first half. Chieftains lead 28-7. Trips left formation. Mason takes the snap. He looks left. Looks like he wants to take a shot. That's a holding in the backfield. He does take the shot, and it's incomplete. So this will be holding on the Panthers. This will back him up another 10 yards as Deshaun Koch had a good pass rush there. He was looking to get the sack. And I want to apologize to Deshaun. We've had his name wrong this season. It is Deshaun Koch, as I was informed before the game. So it won't happen again, Deshaun. So the Chieftains decline it as they're looking to get the ball back. As explosive as this offense has been, I don't blame them. They've got one timeout left here in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. 57 seconds left to go. Ball on the 20-yard line. And they come out in spread formation. Wilson the back. And they send a man in motion from right to left. He takes the snap, looks left, and they're going to throw the halfback screen, and it's set up pretty nicely. But he's tackled short of the line to gain. 4th and 3. The Chieftains will take a timeout. Great tackle there. I believe it was Jace McIntosh again. It was honestly a well-designed play. It was almost set up perfectly, just unable to block Jace. He went and made another play tonight. So the Chieftains use their last timeout. There's 49 seconds left to go. Looks like it's 4th and 3. Ball's on the 26-yard line in Panther territory. So the Chieftains will have an opportunity. And what a eventful night here at Putnam City North. We had the lightning delay. This game was also originally supposed to be played on Friday night, but it was moved to Thursday, as most games are out across the state were. We're going to start having to call these games Thursday night lights. Friday night lights has been a thing of the past this year. This is the 3rd Thursday night game in a row for the Chieftains. We'll look to get back to regular scheduled programming next week. And here we go. 4th and 3 for the Panthers as they look to punt this one away. Brown, the punter. And it does not look like the Chieftains will come after this one. And his snap is away. It's a good snap. Gets the punt off. It's going to be fair caught at the 48-yard line. Fair caught by Carter Mosquito. So the Chieftains will take over at the 48-yard line. 44 seconds left to go. No timeouts remaining for the Chieftains as they lead 28-7. This offense has been really explosive on their last few drives. 4 drives. Scored on all 4 of them. And they'll come out in an empty formation. Stone, Carter Mosquito, and Braddock takes the snap. He steps up in the pocket, avoids the rush, fires it across the field. He's got a man, but it's going to be caught in bounds. That's it's going to be a 9-yard gain to Dawson Goodland. That puts the ball at the 42 as the Chieftains have no timeouts. Clock inside of 30 seconds. And they go empty formation again. Braddock takes the snap. He drops back, looks quickly to the right. It's going to be incomplete. So that stops the clock with 17 seconds left to go. And we got another penalty down in the backfield. We'll see who this is on. Officials are getting this sorted out. Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Panthers. So that'll move the ball 15 yards forward with 17 seconds left to go here before halftime. Chieftains lead 28-7. And the officials are still discussing this call as they will move the ball forward now. So that should take the ball all the way down to the 27-yard line. If nothing else, Jack Madden may get an opportunity to put some more points up if the Chieftains are unable to get this in the end zone. So 17 seconds left to go. 1st and 10 for the Chieftains. Ball on the 27. Inside of Panther territory. They come out in empty formation. Braddock takes a snap, looks across the middle of the field, fires it across the middle of the field, and it's going to be incomplete as he was trying to get the ball to Jackson Stone. We got another flag here in the backfield. It's been a common theme in a lot of these games. This one, I think, will go against the Chieftains. 13 seconds left to go before half. The Chieftains have no timeouts, and it will be a holding. The Panthers accept it, so this will be 1st and 20. Ball back at the 38-yard line. Bryce Curran, Judd Merrill, Landon Barber, Dawson Goodland, and Levi Jensen into the game with Braddocks as they come out in a trip strike formation. Braddocks takes the snap. He looks right. He steps up, fires a deep shot down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. The intended target there was Bryce Curran. I'm not sure if they were on the same page. Bryce was running a post route, and Braddocks threw it to him like it was an intended fade route. There is some wind tonight, so we've got a strong north wind. And I believe it's colder here in the booth tonight than it is outside. I thought I'd be warm up here, but it is freezing in this booth. So here we go. Looks like they might have one more play. 2nd and 20, empty formation. Braddocks takes a snap, looks left, fires it across the field, and it's caught. And he did get out of bounds. Great throw and catch there as they got 4 seconds remaining on the clock. That was thrown to Jackson Stone. That's good for a 10-yard gain. So it looks like this could be the last play of the first half as it's 3rd and 11, 4 seconds left to go, no timeouts remaining for the Chieftains. And Levi will check into the game for Mosquito. They'll come out in spread formation. Braddocks takes the snap, drops back, just takes a shot to the end zone, and it's going to be broken up, so that's incomplete. So that'll take us to halftime. Chieftains lead 28-7. As we're here at Putnam City North, the Chieftains are looking to move to 5-0 in district play. Putnam City's looking to move, get that 3rd win as they're 2-2 in district play. And that was just a great finish there from the Chieftain offense and the Chieftain defense. Outside of that last possession to end the half there, the Chieftains scored on their last 4 and really got the offense going through the ground and through the air. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes to break down the first half as you're listening to us on Chieftain TV and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. We are at halftime. The Chieftains have a 28-7 lead over the Panthers. As we'll recap that first half here in just a second, we're going to look at some other scores going on around the state tonight as most games are played tonight. The most interesting score that I'm seeing right now is Bigsby and Mustang. Bigsby leads 14-12 at halftime. The closest game I've seen from those two schools or from Bigsby at halftime in a long time is they beat Enid last week 92-0. The Norman North Tigers lead Trail Deer Creek 19-7. Union lost to Broken Arrow 29-10. Choctaw beat Grant 42-0. See if I can get a few more of these. And Sand Springs is putting it on Muskogee. They got a 49-28 lead. Not sure what quarter that is in. It doesn't look like it's been uploaded. That game could be over. McAllister beat Booker T 29-15. I can't really get anything else to load, but sounds like we had a thriller tonight just down the road in Oklahoma City as the Thunder topped the Pacers in another double overtime game, beating them 141-135. SGA had 55 points as he had a really, really efficient night, 15 out of 31, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Just an incredible player, fun to watch. He's the MVP for a reason. As the Thunder are missing quite a few guys, that's an impressive win over the Pacers. So we'll get back to tonight's game. In that game, I just got word, Sand Springs does defeat Muskogee 49-28. So an interesting result there is the Chieftains will take on Muskogee at home next week. They had a short halftime here, so I'm going to go through this quickly as the teams are about a minute away from kicking off here. Sapulpa has 157 passing yards through the air and 80 rushing yards. They really got things going there on the last 4 out of 5 drives before halftime. Probably would have scored there on that last drive, but ran out of time. Levi Jensen and Michael Bennett have been the two featured backs tonight, along with Cade Buxton in the mix a little bit. Braddock's is having himself another big night. Bryce Curran has caught 2 touchdown passes for the Chieftains. One was a 22-yarder. The other was a 62-yard reception. Just an incredible play there from Bryce. And the Panthers have only been allowed to have 30 passing yards and 49 rushing yards. Outside of really one drive where the tailback Wilson was able to get loose a few times, the Chieftain defense has been solid all night long. Most of their drives have ended in negative plays or negative yards. They had one drive there where they were able to get a little bit going in the ground game, but the Chieftains quickly adjusted and fixed it as they've pitched 2 shutouts in district play so far. They're only allowing 13 points on the season. That's how many points they're averaging giving up. So both teams are back out on the field as we start the second half. The Chieftains have a 28-7 lead. And once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and our radio listeners for tuning in on AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. So Brown will come out to kick this ball away as the Chieftains get the ball to start the second half. And it's a line drive kick. It's going to be caught at the 15-yard line. And he cuts it up left. Messiah Fielder has it. He's got the edge. Bounces across the 30. Breaks the tackle. He's across the 35. And he's going to be tackled about the 38-yard line. He ran a total of about 75 yards as he tried to reverse the field. Messiah Fielder there on a great kickoff return. Gets the ball out to the 38-yard line where the Chieftains will take over this first possession of the second half. Braddock has had a good, solid night tonight, finding open receivers all over the field and stepping up and avoiding sacks. So they'll come out in the 2 tight end look with Levi in at tailback, 2 receivers to the boundary. Braddock takes the snap. It looks to hand it off. Levi cuts it out left. Got blockers in front of him. He's across midfield. He's going to be tackled at the 47-yard line. That's good for a 14-yard gain. So offensive line's getting a good push here tonight as they've gotten settled into the game. Led by David Rodriguez, the center, Camden George, and Thomas Lopez out to his right. They come out in familiar formation, hands it off to Levi again, runs it up the left side. He's met right at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be no gain. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Chieftains. Ball on the 48-yard line just across midfield. I want to give a shout-out to the left side of the offensive line, as that's Kel Bearpaw, the sophomore, and number 78, Jarrett Hammer, who's back tonight from injury. They come out in the same two-back look, 2 receivers to the boundary. Braddock takes the snap, play-action pass, fires to the sideline. It's a tiptoe catch. It's going to be caught for a 7-yard gain. Bryce Curran on the reception. A great catch there as he tiptoed on the sideline to get a foot in. 3rd and 3 for the Chieftains. And the receivers will shift to a stack look. Ball on the 41-yard line. Braddock takes the snap, looks to hand it off to Michael Bennett, who cuts up the middle. He's got the first down. He's crossed 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chieftains. Michael Bennett on the 38-yard run. And that'll give the Chieftains a 34-7 lead here with 10 minutes and 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Great job there by Michael Bennett, just cutting it up, following his blockers. Great blocks there from Blandon Barber and Bryce Curran out playing receiver to make that possible. And he's another guy, once he gets space, he's gone. So Jack Madden will come out to kick the extra point. Carter Mosquito the holder, Levi the snapper. And the snap's away. It's a good snap. And I believe this is no good. So the Chieftains will have a 34-7 lead with 10 minutes and 42 seconds left to go here at the start of the third quarter. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Chieftain TV and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. The Chieftains take a 34-7 lead early on in here in the third quarter as Jack Madden comes out to kick this ball away from the 40. And he kicks it off. It's an end-over-end kick. Looks like it's going to be caught at the 17-yard line. He steps out of bounds. And we'll see where they decide to mark this. They're going to say he was inbounds. I'm pretty sure he was out, but they'll mark it at the 25-yard line instead of the 17. And the Panthers will take over for their first possession of the second half. So that was a quick strike there from the Chieftains. A 61-yard drive that resulted in a touchdown run, a 38-yard touchdown run from Michael Bennett. And the Panthers come out at the 25-yard line to be 1st and 10. They're in a two-back look. Less than 100 yards to the first half. Takes snap, high snap, hands it off. Nowhere to go. Met in the backfield by Cade Buxton and Deshaun Koch. That's a 2-yard loss. I'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Panthers. It's a great play there from Cade Buxton and Deshaun Koch to get in the backfield. Absolutely nowhere to go there for the speedy, talented running back. So it'll be 2nd and 12, ball at the 23-yard line. They come out in the same two-back formation. Mason Jones takes a snap, play action. He rolls out to his right, looking downfield, nowhere to go, and he's blown up. But he does get the ball off. The receiver does a great job of running back to catch this ball. There was absolutely nowhere to go with it. And Mason Jones is down. He was absolutely leveled by, I didn't see who hit him. I think it was Deshaun, but I'm not sure. may have been Sequoia Hall. And we've got a flag thrown over there by the injured player. As he is down, the training staff's out on the field. So he did get the ball off. The receiver ran back about 10 yards to come up and catch the ball. I thought it was going to be incomplete. So the receiver made a good catch on the ball. And that looks like once we resume play, depending on what the flag is, it'll be 3rd and 9. Unless the flag changes that. So they're down attending to the injured quarterback who's been playing most of the year injured. He's got a broken hand in his throwing hand, and he's up jogging off the field. So this will be unsportsmanlike conduct on the Panthers. We'll see if the Chieftains elect to decline this or accept it. And Mason Jones will have to come off for a play as he tried to go back out there. The referee signaling him back to the sideline. The Chieftains do accept the penalty. So that'll back them up. Inside their own 20-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 18-yard line. It's 3rd, and it looks like 22 to go. And the backup quarterback will have to come into the game. Looks like it'll be Zach Petty. He takes the snap. He hands it off up the middle. He's got a few yards, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And that's a 12-yard carry. It'll bring up 4th and 10. Terry Wilson Jr. is a speedy back, very shifty. If you give him any bit of space, he can make you pay. And it looks like the Panthers are going to go for it here as it's 4th and 10, the ball on their own 25-yard line. As they're desperately searching for their 3rd win in district play, fighting for an opportunity to go to the playoffs. And they come out in spread formation. Man in motion from right to left. It's going to be a false start, so this will back them up again. It'll be 4th and 15. We'll see if they decide to go for it again or if they're going to send out the punt team. And they will send out the punt team. So it's 4th and 15. That'll put the ball on the 20-yard line. Chieftains lead here with 9 minutes left to go in the third, 34-7. And that was just another great stop there from the Chieftain defense, getting them another 3 and out on the night. Brown the punter, Carter Mosquito the returner. Looks like the Chieftains may come after this one. It's a high snap. They don't get there. It's straight up in the air. Awful punt. Bounces backwards, back inside the 20-yard line. That's a negative 3-yard punt. As the ball went straight up in the air, the Chieftains got pressure on the punter. It bounces at the 20 and bounces backwards to the 16-yard line. The 16-yard line. So the Chieftains will take over inside the red zone. You don't see very many backwards punts. I had to really think about the math on that one. So 8 minutes and 38 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. The Chieftains take over inside the Panthers 16. And they come out in the 2 tight end set, stacked receivers out wide, Levi the back. Braddock takes the snap, looks to hand it off. Levi cuts it out to the left, and he's met almost immediately. That's a 2-yard gain. Bringing up 2nd and 8 for the Chieftains. Eight minutes left to go here in the third. That gets the ball to the 15-yard line, so they say he's only good for one yard. Chieftains have found a lot of success, like I expected them to, really through the air and through the ground. So they come out in the pistol formation, stacked receivers to the wide side of the field. Braddock takes a snap. It's a wide zone play. Out to the outside. Levi's got the edge. He gets inside the 10-yard line. He's tackled at the 9. So that's a good 5-yard run. That'll bring up third and about 3 to go. And the Chieftains make a few substitutions. 3rd down and 3, ball inside the 10-yard line inside of Panther territory. They have the two-back look into the ball game. Braddock takes the snap, looks to hand it off, hands it off. Levi out to the left. He's inside the 5, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Chieftains. That'll give the Chieftains a 40-7 lead over the Putnam City North Panthers with 7.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. And that's a great hard run there by Levi to pick up another score on the season. He's having a fantastic season. He had 9 touchdowns coming into this game, 654 yards. We'll have to add up the yards after this game. He's going to be close to having a 1,000-yard season. He's got 2 games left to go and a whole another half here at Putnam City. So Jack Madden will come out to kick the extra point. And it snaps away. Good snap. Good hold. And it bounces off the right upright. And it's going to be no good. So the Chieftains will stay there at 40. It's a 40-7 lead with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. And you're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain football. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Chieftain TV. Jack Madden out to kick the ball away. Chieftains lead 40-7 with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Jack Madden steps up to kick, an end-over-end kick. Bounces inside the 20, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 10-yard line. This will be a penalty on the Chieftains. We'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV and our radio listeners for tuning in on KYAL AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. My name's Tanner Gregory. I have the honor and pleasure of bringing you all of these games for the Chieftains. And it's been a good night here as the Chieftains will look to move to 5-0 in district play. We may even get a running clock and get some of our time back that we lost from a late kickoff. We didn't kick off until 8:50 tonight due to the lightning delay. And the Panthers will take over on the 35-yard line. They come out in the two-back set. Wilson in the back. Mason Jones back into the game after going down with an injury. And they send a man in motion. Takes a snap. Looks left. Steps up. Nowhere to go. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. And he's running right. And he throws in, I believe it's caught. A tiptoe catch there on the sideline. That's good for a 12-yard gain. And they'll go fast. Same formation. Ball on the 47-yard line. Takes the snap, looks to hand it off up the middle, and he does. Nowhere to go as he's met by Deshaun Koch. That's a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9. Ball at the 48-yard line. They go spread formation with the tight end in the game. Mason takes the snap, looks to hand it off. And he does. He tries to get to the outside, cuts it back up in the middle, and he's met by Jace McIntosh there around the 48-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain. So that'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Panthers. We'll see if they stay with this tempo. And Mason Jones, their quarterback, he's a talented player. He's been playing with a broken hand in his throwing hand this year. So he struggled to have the success he had last year. So it's 3rd and 5. Spread formation. Takes the snap. He looks down the middle of the field. He flushes out of the pocket again. He's going to throw it down the field. And it's picked off, but it's going to be pass interference, so this will not count. Michael Bennett's across the 50, across the 40, inside the 30. Breaks the tackle. Bounces it out to the outside. Trying to get to the left. He's going to be tackled at the 20, but this is going to be coming back. There was a jersey tug there from the DB, the Chieftain's defensive back. And unfortunately, that'll wipe off the great reception there from or a great interception there from the Chieftains. Sorry, I got distracted. We just lost the lights at the stadium. The lights have went off. So we'll see if they can get those back on, as that's going to be a pass interference against the Chieftains. And if the lights come back on, we can see the field. I'll tell you where they'll mark the ball. The Chieftains lead 40-7. 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. I would imagine we'll have a running clock for the fourth if they don't start it now here in the third. This is a late kickoff. It's going to be a late night home for everybody. Good crowd there from the Chieftains. So they just announced there's going to be a 10-minute delay with the lights. They will be coming back on. A good crowd there across the field. Chieftains have traveled well to this game tonight. I believe this game is also being streamed to Waypoint Lounge. We'd like to welcome you guys and thank you for tuning in. And we're going to step aside for a short break. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football, 99.9 FM, ESPN Tulsa. Welcome back. If you're still with us, the lights have went out at the field. Putnam City North, this Chieftain offense, I'm going to blame it on them. They have played a great, really from the second quarter on, just been absolutely electric. Really explosive, scoring on 6 out of their last 7 possessions. And they've turned the lights out here in Putnam City North. So we've got a slight delay. It's a 10-minute delay to get the lights back on. Looks like we've got about 5 minutes left of that delay. Just an interesting night here on the road, as I'm not really sure what's going on. Both teams have cleared the sidelines. It looks like the Chieftains are stretching. Putnam City North, I'm not sure what's going on down there as they're all huddled up. But the Chieftains lead 40-7 here with 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter once the lights come back on. And it's just been a dominant performance, really, offensively and defensively. And the Chieftains have came out in the second half. They've already got 68 yards on the ground on 2 possessions, 7 yards through the air, but they've been able to keep the ball on the ground most of the second half. That last possession started on their own, the Panthers' 16-yard line. It was a quick 3-play, 3 runs, and a score there by Levi. And the last play before the lights went out was it's going to end up being pass interference against the Chieftains. It was picked off by Michael Bennett and returned all the way back to the 20, but that'll be wiped off. And if I could see the field, I'll tell you where they're going to spot the ball, but I'm not sure because I can't see the field. So we'll look around the 6A2 Group 2 district play as Sand Springs beat Muskogee tonight, so that will change things a little bit. Well, it really won't change things in the rankings. Sand Springs was still number 1 coming into tonight. Sapulpa will play Muskogee at home next week. It'll be nice to be back home on a Friday night So 6A2 Group 2, the east side team, Sand Springs is in first place as they'll move to 6-2 with the win over Muskogee tonight. Sapulpa will also move to 6-2 with a win tonight. Sorry, I'm not sure if these have been uploaded or not. Sand Springs will be 5-0 in district play. Sapulpa will be 5-0 in district play. Muskogee will have their first loss. They'll move to 4-1, ranked third right now in 6A2 Group 2. Putnam City North will probably stay where they're at. They'll be 2-3 after this game as it resumes here shortly. Ponca City is 1-3. Bartlesville, Capitol Hill, and Putnam City West round out the bottom three. So a couple of those teams fighting to get into the playoffs. Sapulpa secured a playoff spot last week with a win over Ponca City. And we'll look at the west side here. Stillwater, and I haven't seen the results from tonight, so these numbers may change after tomorrow. But Stillwater's in first place in 6A2 Group 1, followed by Putnam City, Piedmont, Southmore, Choctaw, Northwest Class, and Eisenhower and U.S. Grant. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out as the last 2 weeks could shake up the playoff picture. And Sapulpa, if they win next week, they'll be sitting in a spot to have a first-round bye, which has never happened in Sapulpa history. So now they did in 1950. They did go 10-0 with a tie, and they share the district title with Muskogee from 1950. But they didn't have a playoff that year, so the one opportunity Sapulpa would have had to get a state championship, we'll never know. It ended in a tie that they share with Muskogee. But tonight, or this season, they've been knocking on the door the last 4 years in a row, consistently making the playoffs, consistently being a playoff team. And if you knock on the door long enough, eventually you've got to bust through it. And we'll see what they can do this season. But 2 big games left on the schedule, Muskogee and Sand Springs. And that rivalry game will be one heck of a game as the Chieftains will march up Highway 97. Again, we played at Sand Springs this year. Hopefully it's not raining like it was last year. It's just been an interesting year with all of the schedule changes and weather tonight. And now we've got the lights out here in Putnam City North. They said about 8.5 minutes ago it would be a 10-minute delay, so the lights should be coming on soon. So we're going to step aside for a short break. Thank you for joining us on Chieftain TV and listening on the radio at AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football. Welcome back. And we are still under a delay with the lights. The lights went off. I'm assuming they were on a timer to go off at 10:30, but this game was delayed until 8:50. We didn't get to kick off. So we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV. AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. Chieftains lead here at Putnam City North 40-7. And when we resume, there'll be just under 6 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. I would imagine we'll have a running clock at some point in time, as the Chieftains will have a late night getting home. We'll have to see if we can get them at least a half day off tomorrow. I don't have any connections at the school, but if I did, I would fight for these guys to at least not have to show up until 10 or 11, but that's what I would want. But it's been a great night for the Chieftain offense and defense, really. I mean, outside of the one drive that Putnam City put together on the ground, led by the talented running back Terry Wilson Jr., they really haven't had much success outside of that. Now, they were rolling a little bit on this drive as they picked up a few first downs and got the penalty on the last play. But really, it's been a solid night for the Chieftains defensively, and the offense has gotten rolling. They started out slow through their first 3 possessions and then have scored on the last 7 out of 8 possessions. They've got 164 yards through the air. And I'm sorry, we don't have any lights, so it's struggling to read my paper here. It looks like they have 148 yards on the ground. And Michael Bennett and Levi Jensen have split the carries tonight. Michael Bennett busted off the long touchdown run for 38 yards, followed by a Levi Jensen touchdown for 9 yards. Braddock Broughton has 3 touchdowns on the night, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. Really, we just are waiting that special teams touchdown, and that would complete the trifecta. So an interesting game going over on the other channel, 97.1, with Bigsby and Mustang. Trying to get an updated score on that. It was 14-12 at the half, according to the score we had. That might be the closest game Bigsby's had going into halftime in quite some time, as they started the controversy last week, beating Enid 92-0. And really the most impressive part about that win was, I think if I saw the stat right, I believe they only had like 360 yards and still somehow scored 92 points. So that's probably more impressive to me than somehow, scoring 92 points, but they'll only do it with 63 yards, total yards. That's just an absolutely dominant performance. And I'm not sure how much longer the delay is going to take. The lights should be back on any minute. Well, we're going to say the Chieftains turn the lights out in Putnam City North. And hopefully we can get a running clock so we can get back on the road and get back to Sapulpa, as this game is pretty much out of hand at this point. The Chieftains have a 40-7 lead. So next week, the U.S. Army pregame show, led by Kevin Ward, will be at Sapulpa for the Sapulpa-Muskogee game. That'll start at 5 o'clock, as that will be a huge game in 6A2. As Muskogee has fallen to Sand Springs tonight, they'll be looking to bounce back. Sapulpa will be looking to get a big win and move to 6-0 in district play. And once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us on Chieftain TV, AM 1550, 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. And I thought the lights would be back on by now, but they're not. So I'm going to step aside for just a couple of minutes. And hopefully, when we get back, the game will be resumed. And we'll get this win and get out of here. So you're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain Football on 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Chieftain TV. The lights are back on here at Putnam City North, as I'm assuming they were set on a timer to go off at 10:30, and we had what said was going to be a 10-minute delay turned into a 17-minute delay just to stack on with everything else going on tonight. We didn't get kicked off until 8:50, and we are back. Chieftains have a 40-7 lead here in the third quarter with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the third. It's been a dominant performance from the Chieftains. They look to move to 5-0 in district play. And the Chieftains both teams are getting loosened up right now as we're about to resume play here after the delay due to the lights going out. I'm going to blame it on the Sapulpa offense tonight, as they've been electric. Got over 300 total yards of offense, 167 through the air, 164 through the air, and 148 on the ground, as they've scored on their 7 out of the 8 last possessions. And again, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa and Chieftain TV. Looks like we're about to resume play here. Interesting game going on down the road at Mustang, as Bigsby's on the road in a close one, surprisingly. They lead 14-12 over Mustang. Very interesting game going on down here, as I believe that game was delayed. It did not kick off until 8:50 as well. And I believe that did affect the Chieftains early on in this game. Did not start out great through their first 3 possessions offensively. But they got things back on track, got focused, and have ran away with this ball game. So we'll see if we have a running clock. Hopefully we have a running clock. It's getting late, almost 11 o'clock. The Chieftains still have an hour-and-a-half drive home. And so if you're just now joining us, there was a pass interference that wiped off the interception from Michael Bennett against the Chieftains. And we're going to see that should be first down. So it will be first down and 10. The ball is on the 38-yard line inside of Chieftain territory. And they come out in a spread formation. Mason takes the snap, looks to hand it off. He gets out around the edge to the left side. He's tracked down by Deshaun Koch. He's going to be tackled. It's going to be a 1-yard loss. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Deshaun showing the speed that he has to get on the edge and chase down Terry Wilson Jr., who's got a lot of speed. That'll be 2nd and 11. And they come out in a 2-back look, ball on the left hash. Mason takes the snap, play action pass, looks down the field, steps up in the pocket, nowhere to go. That's going to be holding, but they're not going to call it. And he hits a man down the field, and that's good for a first down. That's a 20-yard gain. Should have been holding. DeMarion McKinney was getting a good pass rush. Not able to sack the quarterback, so that'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 24-yard line. They look to the sideline to change the play. They're in a trips left look with the tight end. They motion him across the spread formation. Takes the snap, hands it off to the running back, bounces to the outside, back up the middle, and he's got a 6-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 4 as they're inside the red zone. So Putnam City starting to find a little bit of success on this drive. The Chieftain defense has been out on the field a lot tonight. The offense has scored very quickly the last 2 possessions of this second half. They come out spread formation. He takes the snap, looks to hand it off. This time it's to the left, and there's not much room to go. There's going to be tackled line of scrimmage by Jackson Mills, the senior linebacker. This inside linebacking crew's coached by Josh Hicks. Really solid group of linebackers, led by Jace McIntosh, who leads all categories for 6A2 linebackers. Tackles for loss, interceptions, sacks, putting together a great year. So they'll come out in spread formation with the tight end to the right. The ball's going to be on the 17-yard line. They look to the sideline for the play. Wilson will move to the left side. He takes a snap, play action pass, throw the bubble screen, and there's nowhere to go. Chieftains are all over it. Tackled by Caden Smith. He might have got a yard on the play. That brings up 4th and 2. They're going to go for it. Ball's on the 17-yard line, 4th and 2. So they go trips left formation with the tight end. And they go hard count, trying to get the Chiefs to jump. They don't. Look to the sideline for the play. And they reload. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field. So the Panthers will take a timeout. Chieftains lead 40-7. 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftain football. Welcome back. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Panthers. As they took a timeout there, they'll have 2 remaining for the second half. 3 minutes left to go here in the third as they're trailing 40-7. They come out of trips left to the boundary. They send them back out in the flats in motion. He's looking to throw. Nowhere to go. Steps up in the pocket. He's got some room. We'll see if he goes, and he does. He's going to pick it up with his feet, and he's inside the 10-yard line down to the 7. They'll mark him down at the 8. So the Chieftains had great initial coverage. Mason Jones, the dual-threat quarterback, steps up in the pocket, ends up scrambling out to the right and picking up the first down. So they're inside the 10-yard line. They come out in a trips left formation. They go hard count. Chieftains don't jump. They look to the sideline for the play. It'll be 1st and 10, or 1st and goal for the Panthers. Quarterback takes snap, looks hand off the middle. Nowhere to go. Met by Sequoia Hall in the backfield. And that's going to be a 2-yard loss. Great job there by Sequoia Hall getting in the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. Ball will be on the 10-yard line. Panthers have found a little bit of success on this drive. It was broken up by a 17-minute delay due to the lights turning off here. So they'll come out 2nd goal. Spread formation. Chieftain defensive line switches. They send a man in motion from right to left. Drops back to pass. Looks left. Steps up in the pocket. Nowhere to go. Sacked by Camden George. Sacked by Camden George. That's going to be another 2-yard loss. I was talking to Camden George before the game. He was hungry for some more sacks, and he gets a big one there. Just a fantastic defensive tackle. Playing both ways for the Chieftains this year. Playing guard on the offense and defensive tackle here for the defense. And that'll be it'll be 3rd and goal for the Panthers. Ball's going to be on the 13-yard line. As the clock winds down inside a minute 15 to go in the third. Spread formation. Man in motion from right to left. He takes the snap, drops back, looks left, steps up, avoids the sack, and he's running. He's got a man open in the end zone. It's going to be caught for a touchdown. So the play broke down there. He was almost sacked. He steps up, avoids it, and finds a man just running free down the field, wide open in the end zone. They'll score, so that'll put them up 13 as they trail the Chieftains 40-13, Minute left to go here in the third. And they're waiting for the placeholder to come out on the field to kick the extra point. Chieftains almost got another red zone stop. They've only averaged giving up 13 points on the season defensively. But they've been on the field a lot tonight. His offense has scored a lot and scored quickly. Snaps away. It's high snap. He gets it down. And the kick's good. So it'll be 40-14. Chieftains lead here at Putnam City North. A minute left to go here in the third quarter. As that was a long drive there for Putnam City, capped off by a 13-yard touchdown pass from Mason Jones. The Chieftains will get the ball here as the Panthers will kick off to them. Still no running clock here, as I think all Chieftain fans and maybe even Putnam City North fans were hoping for at some point, as this game has had about every kind of delay you could imagine. So both teams take the field as Panthers will kick off from the 40. They're struggling to get lined up here. Only 10 guys on the field originally. And here we go. Brown, the kicker, he kicks it off. It's a short kick. Lands in the middle of a gap there. Fielded. And he picks it up by Landon Barber. He's across the 30. Makes a man miss. Gets to the outside across the 30, 35. He's going to be tackled at the 40. The Chieftains will take over on the 40-yard line. Good 20-yard return there from Landon Barber. This Chieftain offense has scored on seven out of the 8 last possessions. And it probably would have been 8 for 8, but one of those was the end of half. They ran out of time. So they come out. In a heavy formation, Washington into the game at tailback. He takes the snap. It's a handoff. He runs left. Runs hard, fighting for extra yards. That's good for a 7-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. The ball at the 48-yard line. It's a good hard run there from the young running back. Junior 5'10", 185. And the Chieftains will take their time here as this clock is winding down. They'll have to get one more snap off before we take this to the fourth quarter. Braddock takes the snap, hands it off. He runs right this time, bounces to the outside, cuts back inside. He's got the first down. He's going to be across midfield down to the 42-yard line. Good hard run there from Washington. Made a few good cuts to turn that into a 10-yard gain. And that should get us to the fourth quarter here as soon as they start the clock. Oh, we had a penalty, so we got holding. Couldn't see that. We got pink flags on the field for October, so that'll back them up. So it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Chieftains. And we'll have to run one more play here in the fourth quarter. And they will run the clock, so that should take us to the fourth quarter. We don't have to snap. We do snap it. Takes a shot across the middle of the field. Overthrown the intended target there, Landon Barber. I don't think they expected the clock to be running. So that'll get us to the fourth quarter. Chieftains lead 40-14 here at Putnam City North. You're listening to 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. This is Chieftain football, and we'll step aside. Welcome back. We're at the start of the fourth quarter. It'll be 3rd and 13 for the Chieftains. Trips formation. Radek takes snap, looks right, avoids the pressure, steps up. He will be sacked. It's going to be a 5-yard loss there for the Chieftains. So the Chieftains lead 40-14 here at the start of the fourth quarter. It's been a dominant performance from the Chieftains, as they'll move to 5-0 in district play if we can ever get out of Putnam City North. We had the lightning delay. We had a light delay where the lights went out for 17 minutes and still no running clock. Maybe they will run it. We'll see. Hopefully they will. It's Coy Hall out to punt this ball away. Logan Mason, the long snapper. Wilson, the returner. He'll be punting away from his 33-yard line. Good snap. Gets the ball away. It's a high kick. It'll go cross midfield. It's going to be attempted a fair catch it, but it takes a bounce, Chieftain bounce, inside the 30-yard line all the way to the 27. So the Panthers will take over from their own 27-yard line. 11 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and we're not getting a running clock, so we'll see what happens here. So the Panthers did score in that last drive. It was a 67-yard drive to give them a 14 points on the night. It was capped off by a 13-yard touchdown pass from Mason Jones. Got to give a lot of credit to the kid. He's been playing with a broken bone in his throwing hand, playing tough. So they come out. It'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 27. As it rolls past 11 o'clock tonight, going to be a long night getting home. They come out in spread formation. Wilson the back. Mason takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks right, steps up in the pocket, fires across the middle of the field. It's going to be caught, but he's tackled quickly by Jace McIntosh. That's a 3-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Panthers. They'll come out in the same formation. Takes a snap, hands it off to Wilson up the middle. Nowhere to go. Maybe got a yard, if that, but he's tackled by Cade Buxton, the inside backer. Cade Buxton having a good night on defense. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Panthers. And the receivers are stacked on both sides. Wilson the back. And he sends him in motion from right to left. It's going to be a false start, I believe, on the Panthers, so that'll back them up. It'll be 3rd and 11. Third and 11 for the Panthers. That'll put the ball on the 26-yard line. 10 minutes left to go here in the fourth, as the Chieftains look to get a 3-and-out here. And they go spread formation. Mason takes the snap. Drops back, looks left, steps up, nowhere to go. He's being pressured, and he's sacked. Demarion McKinney with the sack. That's a 4-yard loss. And that'll bring up 4th and long for the Panthers. Great sack there from Demarion McKinney. Mason Jones, he likes to leave the pocket early. Unable to do that time. And that'll bring out the punt team. This will be 4th and 16 for the Panthers. They punt the ball away from their own 22-yard line. Carter Mosquito will be the returner. Brown the punter. The snap's away. It's a high snap. He corrals it. It's a high punt. Very, very short punt. And it bounces off a Panther at the 37-yard line. And they are going to mark it down there around the 37-yard line. So a very short punt. Only about a 12-yard punt. And the Chieftains will get good field position again. 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Chieftains lead 40-14. And we'll see if we start to see some substitutions roll in for the Chieftains, as they're trying to get out of this game as healthy as possible. They got a big game next week against Muskogee at home. Hopefully on Friday night, as this is the 3rd Thursday night game we've played this year. Chieftain offense will come out onto the field. Michael Bennett, the tailback, alongside Braddix, who's had a great night tonight. Braddix takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Michael Bennett cuts out of the left. He's across the 30, breaks the tackle, falls forward. He's going to be down around the 23-yard line. That's a 12-yard carry. Braddix had 157 yards at halftime. Was putting together a really nice game. The Chieftains have kept it on the ground most of the second half as they're just trying to get out of here with this win. And at some point in this game, it'll be a two-back set for the Chieftains. Braddix takes the snap. He hands it off to Michael Bennett up the middle. Oh, it's a play-action pass thrown out to Landon Barber. And he had me fooled on that one. It's a good throw and catch there. It's good for a 9-yard gain. Braddix is a little slow to get up. Not something you want to see here in a game that's all but over. They'll bring up 2nd and 1 for the Chieftains as they're in no hurry to get this snap off as they're trying to milk the clock. Washington, the tailback. Stacked receivers towards the boundary. Two-back set for the Chieftains. He takes a snap. He hands it off to Washington up the middle. Breaks a tackle, dragging defenders inside the 10-yard line. He's going to be down at the 7. That's good for a first down and goal for the Chieftains. It's a good 6 or 7 yard gain there for Washington, the junior running back. So it'll be 1st and goal. Ball's on the 7-yard line. They'll come out in a similar formation. Watson and Mason in the game. He hands it off to Washington. Bounces out to the left. Met immediately. He's going to be tackled. That's going to be a 1-yard loss. So bring up 2nd and goal from the 9. Chieftains lead 40-14. Inside of 7 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. I'd like to thank you for joining us on Chieftain TV. And give a shout out to the Chieftain TV road crew tonight. Traveling all the way down here to Putnam City. Dealing with all kinds of delays. We'd also like to thank you for listening in on AM 1550, 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. So the Chieftains come out in a two-back set, 2 receivers to the left. Braddix takes the snap, looks to hand it off, hands it off. He's trying to get to the outside, but nowhere to go, so it'll be no gain on the play. 3rd and goal for the Chieftains. The clock will roll inside of 6 minutes here left to play. And they'll come out in the pistol formation. Logan Mason in the game at tight end. Braddix takes the snap, rolls out right. Got Landon Barber open, but ain't able to connect with him there. It's going to be incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th and goal. He had Landon Barber open on the crosser in the end zone. We've got a close game down the road. Bigsby taking on Mustang. It looks like Bigsby has went up to create a little bit of separation. It's 28-19, Bigsby over Mustang. But that was an interesting game up until just the last few minutes. So it'll be two-back set. Chieftains are going to go for it, 4th and goal. And they get the Panthers to jump with the hard count. So that'll move the ball up for the Chieftains. Brody Chalake, the 6'6 freshman tight end, checks into the game for Logan Mason. He was a target early on for the Chieftains in the red zone. Keep an eye out for him to make a play here. Just a massive tight end. Even it will slide out to the receiver some. 6'6", just a freshman. So they'll come out and trips right. Braddix takes the snap, drops back. Looks like there was some miscommunication there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So I think they were trying to go hard count again. Maybe. The center snapped it, but no one else really moved. So miscommunication there. It'll be turnover on downs. The Panthers will take over from their own 4-yard line as the Chieftain defense comes back out on the field. Still no running clock here at Putnam City. Chieftains lead 40-14. And they'll come out in a trips left formation, a tight end alone to the right side. Wilson the back. Take the snap. It's counter. Nowhere to go. He's met immediately. And he might have got to the line of scrimmage. And I think he did, so that'll bring up second and 10 from the 4-yard line. And they'll come out in a 2-back set. 2 receivers to the right of Mason Jones. Mason takes the snap, play action pass. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket by Cade Buxton coming in on a blitz. He does get the ball away, and it's caught. And that's going to be a 22-yard gain. Charlie Bowie on the reception. The play kind of broken down as Cade Buxton was coming in on a blitz. Mason Jones scrambles out of the pocket and finds a receiver working back to him. Those are tough plays to stop for the defense and can be dangerous. So they come out in spread formation. Takes a snap, looks to hand it off, and he does. He's going to get to the outside, and he's going to get a 5-yard gain there. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Panthers. The ball will be placed at the 34-yard line. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. Chieftains lead 40-14. They come out in spread formation. New running back in the game now. Mason takes the snap, looks to hand off, play action, rolls out to his right. He's going to be sacked by Sequoia Hall. So that'll be a 5-yard loss. Great play there from Sequoia Hall. As the quarterback was trying to roll out to his right. It's play action. Sequoia Hall did a good job of not overrunning it, breaking down, and making the play. They bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Panthers. Ryan Harris, the senior running back, into the game for Wilson. They come out in the 2-back set. He takes a snap, looks to hand off, play action, throw the screen pass out in the flats, and he's going to be hit immediately, but breaks a few tackles, and he's crossed the 40. That'll be good for a 1st down. They had him in the backfield, but he breaks a tackle, broke 2 tackles, and picks up the 1st down. They'll move with the ball to 41. Clock inside of 3.5 minutes left to go here in the 4th. Panthers go fast. Same formation. And he hands it off up the middle. He's met immediately to Marion McKinney in on the stop. Great tackle there from McKinney. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. McKinney, Chalake, and Mason in for the Chieftains' defensive line spot. He takes a snap, hands it off up the middle. Got a little bit of a hole. He's fighting for the 1st down. He's going to get it. That's a 10-yard gain. They're saying the ball came out. And we'll see. Sapulpa's saying the ball came out, but the officials said he was down first. Chieftains make a host of substitutions. Panthers will keep it. So it'll be 1st and 10. He takes a snap, drops back to pass. Looking across to the left, throws it, and it's going to be out of bounds, incomplete. Bringing up 2nd and 10, balls across midfield, the 48-yard line. And that'll stop the clock with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. Cade Buxton, Jace McIntosh back into the game at inside backer along with Jackson Mills. The sophomore Braylon Burdick was in the game for a second. And they send a man in motion. Mason takes the snap, drops back, throws it out to the flats quickly to the screen pass. Then we tackled by Jace McIntosh. And that's good for a 6-yard gain. So that'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Panthers as they get the ball to the 42-yard line inside of Chieftain territory. Clock inside of 2 minutes left to go. Chieftains lead 40-14. Spread formation. Mason sends a man in motion. It's going to be a halfback toss or a jet sweep toss. And he gets a couple yards, but he's going to be short. It'll be 4th and 1. So they ran the jet sweep. Pick up 3 yards. Bringing up a 4th and 1. Good tackle there from Jackson Mills. The Chieftains will look to get off the field here, take a couple of knees, and get back home if they can get this stop. 4th and 1, spread formation. They send a man in motion from right to left. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. And, man, he's going to be really, really close. I don't think he got there. We'll see where they spot it. So they ran play action with a direct read. And they give him the first down. Couldn't have been any closer. I don't think he got there, but they give him the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 again for the Panthers. Clock inside of a minute as the Chieftains will move to 5-0 in district play. Spread formation for the Panthers. Mason takes the snap, drops back, looks right. Got pressure already. He steps up and avoids it. He's flushed out to his left, looking down the field, he's going to have to pick up a few yards on his feet. And he gets 5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 as he's rushed out of bounds by Logan Mason. That's good pursuit there from Logan Mason, playing the defensive tackle position. Flushed all the way out to the sideline. He'll check out of the game. Donovan Mosquito checks into the game for him. They send a man in motion. Takes a snap. It's a handoff to the right. Trying to get the outside, and he's tackled for a loss. Sequoia Hall in on the stop. That's a 3-yard loss. So that gets us inside of 30 seconds. That should be the last play. And the Panthers are making substitutions. We'll see if they try to run another play. We need to just get out of here healthy. We don't want anything crazy happening. It's already been a crazy night with the delays. And they go spread formation. They're going to try to get into the playoffs. Send the back out in motion. Takes a snap. He looks downfield. Nowhere to go. Flush out of the pocket by Rylan Watson. Steps up, and he slides down. And that'll be it. That will be it. The Chieftains will win 40-14 here at Putnam City North on the road. They'll move to 5-0 in district play as they look to take on Muskogee next week at home. We'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on Chieftain TV. And our radio listeners for tuning in on AM 1550 and 99.9 FM ESPN Tulsa. My name's Tanner Gregory. We'll see you next week. This is Sapulpa Chieftain Football.